Well, hello, everybody. My name is Angel Tuccy from Need a Guest, and you can find me at needaguest.com. I want to invite you to our Hot Author Showcase today. Every quarter, we help 6 authors bring their book to fruition in 90 days in our 90-day author program. And so today we want to showcase a bunch of really hot and exciting authors for you. These are all experts in their own field. Now, as published authors, they are the experts who wrote the book on it. And if you want to interview any of these authors, you can connect directly with them, or you can find them inside of our free Facebook group, Need a Guest. You can go to needaguest.com. So we have about 7 authors that we are showcasing here today. We have Cheryl Stelt, Tabitha Jones, Dr. Jeannie May, Dr. Martine Canal, Ricardo Rodriguez, Elizabeth Villarreal, and we have Sarah Nakamura with us as well. Now, all of these authors, we're going to talk about their books. Of course, you can buy them wherever books are sold, wherever your favorite place is to buy books. And every single author has a free gift for you as well. So make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end. And with that, let's get started. I'm going to see if I can bring on Miss Sarah into the studio with us. Sarah, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Angel Tussy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really great. It's pretty exciting to see you today. All right. So Sarah, I'm gonna give you a second to just go ahead and introduce yourself. Just tell us about your book and your name, where you're coming from. Tell us about your book and a quick little description.
Ooh.
Oops. Oh, I was actually, how do I make it so it's only you on screen? A whole lot of stuff. Well, I don't know how to make it it's only you on screen. So
That's okay.
right.
So you can showcase me or highlight or something fun like that.
I know, right?
That's okay.
My first time. It's actually my first time using StreamYard. I've always done it using Zoom. And
okay.
So I'm learning new technology, right? Every single day, right?
You know, we love new experiences because that gets us out of, that comfort zone that we're always in. And so, doing something a little different and gaining, access to technology kind of makes our brains think a little bit differently, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So as you get that going, what's that?
I'm so glad somebody does. Okay. All right. So let's start really fresh, right? Because I've got other people that are like tagging me and sending me messages, and
and that's what happens when you get into the Need a Guest. It's such a community where we've built this connection, and it's a win-win for everybody because you give so much to the community, but you can also take back. And I think that's what's so great about, all the projects that you do, Angel, and how we move forward in the technology and the next steps, just like writing books. And you help authors to get to that next step. We're all experts in what we do. We help people in different fields, but we don't always know how to connect to people. And sometimes when you go, okay, how do I do that? And you start writing a book, you write down your thoughts, your feelings, all the different things that we are wanting to share and grow and learn with somebody else. And, we coach those people, but we don't always have that really, small thing that we can help them with to introduce ourselves to them. And for me, I'm Sarah Nakamura. I am a stress relief expert. I've been in the wellness field for over 20 years, and I've been doing massage therapy, personal training, wellness coaching. So I've been around the block in this field, but never have I done this like this before. In the last couple years, I decided that I was going to write a book, and I wrote a great book. And Angel is an amazing, amazing media mastery person who actually got my book featured in Times Square in New York, my Stressed Out and Don't Know What to Do book. And I had so much success with that and loved working with Angel that who else to help me to get out this next book of self-awareness and communication. And I'll tell you a little bit of story about this. And I have so much excitement, and I'm smiling right now because when I can help people have the self-awareness understanding what goes on for themselves, communicate to yourself, understand the style of communication that you have, and some really great techniques, the 21 simple keys to help you have better communication, but also to help you have healthier relationships in all of your life. I wanted to make sure that Angel was a part of that. So thank you so much for that. And I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. Sometimes we have challenges in getting out our heart center, our heart
Mm,
projects. And for me, this was a tough one. And
mm,
it was a tough one because if you can see down at the bottom here, Kat Mullen. These
yeah.
stories are from my friend Kat Mullen, and she was my writing buddy. She and I spoke every single day talking about this book and about her book. Her book was about helping parents raise badass children.
Mm,
And unfortunately, last year, after I came back from my hometown of Hawaii, my friend died.
mm,
And her husband both passed away in the same night, leaving 3 children behind. Kat and I had done our neurolinguistic programming together. We became master practitioners in that and hypnotherapy, and we coached together. And we enjoyed the success of our books together. So when I knew that she had another book that was about to come out, um, her family asked me to publish it for her
mm.
and for the legacy of her 3 children. Oldest one has just became a teenager. So if you can see the ripple of the white water, that's the ripple effect that she had on not only her family and her community, but also to everyone that she had in contact with. And this book is based on a lot of the techniques and coaching that we both did mutually, and I get to now teach what's in this book. And I'm so thrilled about that because I get to bring this to you, the audience, who can read this wonderful and quick and easy read. But also, we take that further and we're doing a training based on this book. And if you go to freegiftfromsarah.com, that's SARA, freegiftfromsarah.com/cat, KAT, you can get some wonderful gifts that go along with this book. You'll be in contact with me, but also you'll be able to understand the style of communication that you have, as well as we dig deeper into the keys that go into this book. We also have our great friend and mentor, Dr. Karen Kramer, who is a grief relief expert. So she helps with healthy grief. And so she has a chapter in this book as well. So whatever you're going through in life, we experience grief. And whether it's a breakup or whether it's a death of somebody that you cared for, we bring all of this together along with how I talk about toxic stress and help you to communicate again with yourself as well as others around you to have these healthier communication.
Oh my gosh, Sarah. I mean, what a testimony and what an incredible legacy for Kat, for you to kind of pick up the baton and carry that through. But of course, your background with hanging out with her, celebrating already being a previously published author, this wasn't your first rodeo. So what do you really like, what is your hope that the impact that this book will make on the world?
Well, thank you for that question. And first of all the proceeds from this book are going to Kat's 3 children. And so if you decide to pick up this book, again, all the proceeds go to supporting her children. And my hope is that we are in such a divisive time in our lives, and not just in the political world, but just there's so much that's happened. There's so much that goes on, and we don't have that lack of understanding of one another these days as much as we could.
Mm,
And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a common unity community
mm.
where we find a baseline of what we connect to rather than our differences. And when we bring people together, we start to build each other up. And that's really what our hope is for this community, for this book, and our trainings and beyond that.
All right. So Sarah, tell me again, how do people follow up with you? How do they connect with you?
So they can get some free gifts from me. They can go to free gift from Sarah, SARA.com/KAT, cat. So free gift from Sarah.com/cat.
Oh, backslash cat.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yep.
all right. I
You
didn't
can get
put the
some.
backslash cat. So just
That's okay.
backslash cat.
Yep. And
And
if you do happen to go to freegiftfromsarah.com, what you will also get is the way to communicate with yourself is to wake up in a great mood and to set yourself up really, really, really well for, you know, for your morning, and will help you to just get those little wins. So what I have is a training on how to have a more than amazing morning. So if you go to freegiftfromsarah.com, you'll get that too. So lots of free gifts today. And here's the thing: we've had so many bad days recently, haven't we? You know, with all the things that are going on in the world, all the pressure, the stress, the tension that's in our lives. Wake up great. And it doesn't mean taking an hour out of your day. These are 2-minute techniques. Some of them are less than 2 minutes, but the whole total is about 10 minutes in your morning, and you can start your day off great. You'll be able to read more books, connect to yourself, connect to your loved ones, and if you're an entrepreneur or a business person, you're going to be able to have more connection and greater community with your clients.
I love it. Well, Sarah, you've just been a dream. You're just such a joy. You're like one of my favorite people in the planet. We've shared stages together. We've traveled together. We've been on beaches together, which is pretty exciting. If you are interested in getting a copy of this fabulous book, make sure you connect with Sarah. Go to freegiftwithsarah.com/kat, K-A-T, right? Get all of her free gifts. Of course, you can buy the book wherever you love to buy books, but the best thing is to reach out to Sarah directly. Sarah, any closing remarks?
I would love to connect with you. So no matter what's going on in your life, let's connect. Let's, go forward and having community and camaraderie and just making everything so much more connected in life. So Angel, as always, thank you so much. Love being a part of this community and love to connect with anybody who has any questions or comments. Come see me.
I love it. Well, you're such a pro and such a calming, right? She's just such a calm person. And if you've got any bout of stress, difficulty with communication, she's definitely the expert who wrote the book on it. So, Sarah, thanks for being with us today. All right, that was our first hot author. So let's see. How do I get you out of the studio? I don't know. Do I move in Cheryl? I'm going to add Cheryl to the stage. Right. And then I'm going to remove Sarah. Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing, Cheryl?
Oh, really well. Thank you, Angel. Thrilled to be here. It's a big day for a lot of people.
It is a big day for a lot of people. Super exciting. I think becoming a published author, it doesn't matter whether it's your first book or your 10th book, or I think, Cheryl, this is your third book. Am I correct?
Third book.
Even your third book, right? It's always so exciting. And I think sometimes it just even builds on momentum. And I think one of the favorite things that I love about Cheryl is even though she has written 2 books before, like this is her best one yet. And so super excited. Cheryl, just introduce yourself, tell us where you're coming from, and let's talk about your book.
So I'm Cheryl Stelt. I'm a Canadian living in Denver, spiritual coach and master healer. And right now I'm in Victoria, Canada, where I lived for 24 years. And I'm really looking back on, my previous 2 books. The first one being Heal Your Neck Issues and Let Your Throat Chakra Shine. And then from doing that book, I started working with a number of coaches who were feeling blocked in their businesses. And that really prompted me to write Client Magnet. And so I wrote that Client Magnet, the Coach's Guide to Attract Ideal Clients Through Spiritual Awareness. And my third book now, which like Angel said, in my opinion, my best book, From Blocked to Powerful, the spiritual guide to unlocking clarity and authentic power. And I never thought I would write a third book. And I was so guided. And then the opportunity came along and there was Angel right in front of me. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, universe, I accept this opportunity. And so I really embraced it. And so many good things came out of writing that book.
I remember you saying, you're like, I just don't even know. Like, do I have a third book in me? Do I need to? And it just seemed like very divine timing. Everything lined up together all at the same time. So what surprised you the most, Cheryl, as you were pulling this book together? What kind of stood out for you?
What surprised me the most was how much I had to write. Because I started writing, and I have to say, it was the most difficult in the beginning because I just wasn't that certain. There were many things I thought I could write about, but through your process, once the book started to come together, I just couldn't stop. And I remember you saying to you, Angel, I can't stop writing. Like the editing won't finish. And you said, you just have to stop at some point, because you'll write forever. And I did not have that with my first two books. And this book could be, another 100 pages, I'm sure. But I stopped, and I wanted to put into it. I really wanted to give this book my best stuff. And so the reason I did this, I've been on a very strong spiritual journey for over 30 years, and I've studied multiple healing modalities, spiritual modalities, different practices, so much, traveled. I've done a lot. And I wanted to put the most transformative practices. What I realized, it was about putting the most transformative practices into one place, into this book. So it's very much a workbook. It's a book you can learn from. You can read and reread and reread again and again and again. And what I didn't expect was my own personal transformation that I went through in writing this book. With my throat chakra book, I hit upon a deeper layer of my own throat chakra issues. The client magnet, shining my light to attract all those souls who needed me, I moved to a much greater layer, a new level of being in the world in that way. And with this book, after I finished the manuscript, I remember suddenly thinking, who are you to write about power? Who are you to write about this? I thought, well, who am I not to? But I touched into a place that was pinching. I was like, oh my goodness. And so through writing this book, it helped me evolve to the next level of really helping women embrace their own authentic power, to develop the clarity that they really need in their lives. And I've been in this line of work, women's empowerment, for decades, for absolutely decades in multiple ways. I had my own spiritual interior design business for a decade, and that was all about empowering women, teaching them new skills. In my business, I had up to 8 women working for me, and it became all about that. And then helping to empower my clients through spiritual design, to help them find the truth of their being and express that into the world and their own authentic power. So I forgot that piece. I forgot that happened in the first two. And so when it came the third time, I'm like, oh, I know this. This is familiar. I know what to do. And so it was just using my own process to move through that quickly and relatively easily and go along with it.
I love that you share the journey of, kind of the struggle of who am I, right, to share this, because I think a lot of times when we start writing, we do question, who's going to read this? Does this even matter? Right? Why am I? And to get through and break through to the other side. Cheryl, what do you think is going to be the biggest takeaway, the biggest transformation your reader is going to have once they pick up your book?
I think the biggest transformation is that they're going to begin to experience, not just think, but experience that they are powerful beyond what they can currently imagine, what they currently believe, well beyond that. And in the book, there's nothing really about goal setting, because I've stopped goal setting. It's allowing your goals to come to you. It's not using the mind, the left brain. Let your goals come out of your subconscious. Let who you really are be known at a deeper level. It's unfolding. It's like we all kind of have a cover on us, or we all have blocks. Like I say, from blocked, all our blocks are serving us. Your blocks are serving you. When we embrace them, it gives us the opportunity to move beyond them and move into our authentically powerful selves. So it's the process is the biggest takeaway, and the learning how to do it on your own, doing this kind of work, you will discover so much about yourself. I never thought I would be, the woman I am today, living such a fulfilling life with the business I have, the husband that I'm married to, my lifestyle. Never, ever dreamed of it. And if I would have dreamed it, that my own blocks would have filtered it. We
Hmm.
filter our greatness with our blocks.
Hmm.
When we release the blocks and there's way less filter, then we get the truth of our being, of how powerful we really are.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Good stuff. Good stuff, right? I know the audience is excited to read the book and to get their hands on it. Do you have a free gift, Cheryl, or a great place how we can
I
connect
sure
with
do.
you?
I sure do. I have my free gift are some companion meditations, 3 companion meditations. And I am going to put the link. Can I put the link in the chat?
I think so.
Okay. It's a longish. Oh, no, 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 no. Well, that could be, I think
Oh,
that's,
somebody's
no,
commenting
no, 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 no.
that
That's the link to the Kindle. Sorry.
that's
Let me
okay.
grab the other link. But what I did, because what happens when we're meditating, and I often say this, when we're meditating, it's not so much the words, but it's the energy. So
Mm.
I'm the one that wrote the book, and I really want people to get the energy through me. And so here, let me. Sorry,
No, I know, like trying to do two things at
no,
once,
I've
right?
got this here. I've got this here.
All right. So when she gives me the link, I'll go ahead and put that into the banner. Um, so now that you've written the book, what impact is this going to have for you, Cheryl? Like, what exciting projects are you now developing because of writing the book?
Um, Well, one of the big inspirations for writing this book is my highest level program that I've never done before. And I had a number of women specifically were just like, how else can I work with you? I want more. I want to keep growing and evolving. I don't want to do it all on my own. I want to become my most authentically powerful self. And so I have a longer 9-month program. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to continue that program. And so I'm actually accepting applications for other women who want to get to their highest level selves. And that to me is the most exciting thing. And the other thing, I am actually going to move into doing more live events. You know, COVID, when I wrote my first book, I launched it right when COVID hit. And so I couldn't do the physical launches at bookstores. So I'm doing so much more of that and doing events. And I'm going to be back in Victoria here again in October, and I'm lining up some events to do here, and I'm doing some in Colorado, and really just want to be of service in any way I can over the next while.
I
So
love it. I love it. So she's on her national book tour, right, in Canada and in the US. I'm going to put her little link here so you can screenshot it. I don't think you can click on it, but you can screenshot it and type that in. But make sure you connect with Cheryl. Cheryl, do you have like a website, or is there someplace? Is it just Cheryl? Actually, you can also find her inside of our Need a Guest director or Need a Guest Facebook group. If you go to needaguest.com, you can find Cheryl inside of there if you want to interview her or connect with her as well. Yeah, Cheryl, I think what's so beautiful is this is her third book, but with each book, it's a brand new journey, and she goes even deeper. And I think you can just see her lighting up with everyone. So go and grab all of her books and go through this journey with Cheryl, but definitely reach out to her to have her come and speak, to do a book signing event. And yeah, connect with her in person, because she's dynamite, and she's definitely the expert who wrote the book on it. Cheryl, I'm so delighted to have you featured in our Hot Author Showcase today, to feature the brand new book. Any closing remarks for our audience?
yeah, I just want to say you are powerful beyond belief. And so embrace that beyond what you can currently imagine.
Oh my gosh, right? You can just like breathe that in and take that in. Cheryl, thanks so much for being here today. Super excited to have you in our Hot Author Showcase. So cheers.
Thank you, Angel.
All right. Well, isn't that just dynamite? So let me see if I can. I don't know. I'm only halfway know what I'm doing here on StreamYard. I actually was going to have my daughter come over and help me with the technology. And I'm like, I got this, right? I'm a woman, right? I can figure all of this out. Everything is figure outable. But I just want to say thank you for all of you who are watching, who are participating and joining us for our Hot Author Showcase. It is a big deal to become a published author, and to be vulnerable, to put your thoughts and your ideas into print where people lifetime, right? For a lifetime and different legacies, and you're just actually you're leaving a legacy behind in print. I actually read a statistic somewhere that only like 84% of people want to publish a book, but that only 1% of North Americans have actually taken that step and become published authors. So what you're seeing here today showcased in this Hot Author Showcase are the top 1% of people who actually took action. One of the things that we've been doing is every quarter we work with 6 authors and help them to bring their book to fruition from idea to published in 90 days using our 90-day author program. And so I'm just super excited to be able to showcase some of our authors here today. Next up, we're going to have, I think it's Jeannie May. Look at, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. That blue is just gorgeous. It is just gorgeous. What a beautiful brand color you have. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Angel?
I'm doing good. It's been a while since we've actually been in the same room together. It's one of those things where when you're like deep in getting the book published, like there's all this interaction and all this connection. And then once it's published, they're like fly out of the nest and they're off, speaking on stages and being interviewed on podcasts everywhere. Well, Jeannie, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us where you're coming from and let's hear about your book.
Absolutely. So I'm Dr. Jeannie May, and I am a board certified physician in addiction medicine, geriatrics, and hospice and palliative medicine. And I am coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee. And with Angel's help, I wrote this book, Breath, the Remote Control to Inner Calm. So it was amazing going through the process with Angel. And I just want to thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all of your help and all of your support. Because, it actually turned out pretty good. It's amazing what comes out of you when you got a goal and a desire to make it happen. So thank you so much, Angel.
She's like, it turned out pretty good. It turned out amazing, right? It is so beautiful.
Got pictures too.
It is. And so one of the things that I think was when we talk about getting your book published in 90 days, like that's a quick and aggressive goal. But you actually were able to use a little bit of AI technology in order to help kind of expedite that. So all of those pictures that are in there, you figured out the prompts, right, in order to get, and so it's really lovely. It's just a really lovely layout for Jeannie's book. But let's talk about breath, right? Like the remote control, like describe that a little bit. Like what are we gonna learn and what are we gonna get out of reading?
So it's actually pretty amazing. So first, let me, if I may, just tell you a little story of how I got into this. So on a total lark, usually on my birthday, I like to go do something educational, learn something. So someone invited me to a breathwork like teaching session, and I was like, oh, okay, that sounds like fun. I figured it would help my addiction patients. I can help them with anxiety. They have a lot of depression and issues like that. So I went to this and I thought it was going to be, something where they teach you, breathe in for 4, hold for 7, let out for 8, which is something, I've used myself for insomnia and it works pretty well. And I thought that's what it was going to be. It was totally different. It was mind blowing. So this was a different type of breath work called somatic or transformational breath work, where my first session of 90 minutes was like 5 years of talk therapy for me. It was absolutely transformational, and it lasts. Like this is the closest thing to a magic bullet I've ever found. And it doesn't have side effects. It's just our breath. It's something that we know how to do every single day. We have the power. We have the control. We just don't know it. With our breath, we can actually change our emotional state. We can go, often we just remain victim to whatever comes up, right? If we're feeling anxious, if we're feeling angry, or it just comes up, takes over, and we react and go with it. And then anybody in our path is in trouble for it. But with understanding how we can control the breath, we actually can change from the sympathetic fight, or freeze systems to a more calm a more peaceful, a more in control way of being and interacting with others, because that's the key. That's actually something that's really been hitting me lately, is about community. Is that so many of us are doing all of these things, in our computer by ourselves, we're working on ourselves, we're trying to get better. But the test comes, how do you interact with others? How do we use this in our relationships? And in this book, I actually give you specific life situations where you can use your breath when someone is triggering the living crap out of you. They won't even know that you're doing it. And you can maintain control and take back your power so that when you interact, it is totally on point.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is fantastic. Right. And I've seen Jeannie on stage. I've shared stages with Jeannie, which is pretty exciting. And, I think this is just something we take for granted, right? Like I'm just breathing, right? I mean, how can that be anything significant and mind blowing? But I will tell you, anytime I start being a mouth breather, I'm like, oh, nope, I got to close my mouth, right? I learned about mouth breathing from Jeannie, and there's so many good things. Jeannie, now that you've written the book, like, what impact is this having for you? What doors is this opening up for you?
I'm just meeting so many new people, and it gives me a whole different way that I can help people. Like, in my normal job, I'm helping people every day, but so much of it is about medications, right? It's giving a pill that's treating a symptom, but it's not getting to the etiology. It's not getting to the root of the problem. This is something that actually goes there. And so many of my addiction patients, they're taking drugs not to get high. They're taking drugs to get numb, because there are all sorts of traumas. There's all sorts of trapped emotions. There are things that they haven't dealt with that they don't know how to. They haven't been given the tools. And that's just it. With the breath, we can take back our control. It's amazing.
It is amazing, right? I think you just don't even realize it. You just don't even realize it. So I know that the book is available wherever books are sold and wherever you love to go buy books. Jeannie, do you have a free gift or a place for us to connect with?
I do. And I do want to invite anyone to the Breath MD community. You can go to the website, thebreathmd.com, to find out about times. We're usually meeting once a week. It's open to the public. And you can also get 90 Seconds to Calm, where it's a short little video where I breathe with you for 90 seconds, and you can change your emotional state. Once you learn this, it will change your life.
Oh my gosh.
26786. Sorry. Text breath to 26786.
Okay, hold on. I had done the breathmd.com. Does that work?
It will. A pop-up will come, and then you can get it.
Okay. So I'm going to put that in there first, right? Connect with Jeannie at thebreathmd.com.
Yep.
And then you also have text breath to 26786. So what I love about having a 26786, having a text opt-in when you are on stages and you're out speaking, is it's so easy for people to just pick up your phone. If you've never done a text opt-in, right, you just pull up as if you're texting somebody and text it to the number 26786. And all you have to do is put the word breath in, and you'll get connected to Jeannie right away. So it's just super easy. If you're a speaker, if you're an author, a great call to action and a great way to have a really easy lead magnet, right? A way to attract leads. And once you do that, of course, you're going to get access to Jeannie, all of her fun things. She'll give you a great way that you can go and buy her book and start breathing, like change your emotional state with your breath, not with medications, not with like all this hard stuff, like just with breathing. And it's truly transformational. And it's something that I think that most of us just don't even think about, and we don't even consider. Jeannie, like what else do we want to make sure that we share with the audience today? Because this is like, we could like really geek out about this. I really want to buy the book,
Absolutely.
but I want to make sure that they can plug into all the fabulous things that you've got going on.
Well, one just little tip for you, where, Angel had mentioned not breathing through your mouth. So we can do all of these, fantastic, healthy breathing during the day, breathing through our nose. But if you're breathing through your mouth at night, then you're resetting everything good that you did during the day. So this is going to sound weird, but this can completely change everything. If you put a little piece of tape, usually like medical surgical tape works best, although you can use whatever, but from here to here, just a little piece, and keep your mouth closed while you sleep. It can decrease snoring. It decreases sinuses, any congestion. I had chronic sinusitis for years. And after 3 weeks of doing this, it cleared up. I mean, it's amazing. No more drool on your pillow. It's fantastic.
And you don't have to get up to go to the restroom in the middle of the night either. How funny is that?
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, you used to have to get up multiple times. It actually decreases the number of times you wake up and then feel like you had to go to use the restroom.
Isn't she amazing? Like, don't you just want her? Don't you want to interview her? Don't you want to do a book signing event with her? Don't you want to dig into her book and hang out with Jeannie? I know that you do. She's just so darling. Like, all of the authors that we have here today, just like, I know, like with parents, like you're not supposed to have favorites, right? Like, there's not a bad apple in the bunch. I always say that I attract the most amazing clients. Like, I love them all. Like, there's no bad ones. Like, they're all so amazing. And I'm just super excited to highlight them and showcase them for you today. So connect with Jeannie, text breath to 26786, plug into her community, and make sure that you pick up a copy of the book. It's definitely going to change your life. Jeannie, thanks for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Angel. Thank you for everything. Thank you for holding space for us and being there and answering the questions at weird hours in the night. You are absolutely amazing. And I so recommend anyone who feels like they want to write a book, this is the way to do it. Because if I hadn't done it this way, I'd still be on chapter 1. And this is the first time that I actually wrote a first draft, because I always was perfectionist. I had to get it all right. With this, you don't have choice. You got to get it done. You got to get the stuff out of you. And then I revised it. Then I edited it. And it actually worked so much better. This is why everybody says to do it this way. But it turns out it works. And with Angel's help, it just, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Right. It's a joint effort for sure. But you had it inside of you ready to come out. And I'm just so excited I could coach you through that. So thanks so much, Jeannie. I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks. We'll be on stage together. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, fantastic. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Dr. Jeannie May, and she's right. Like, it is a process, and trusting a coach, right, to take you through the process. If you've got a book inside of you, truly 90 days from today, we take you from idea to published. Now, we've also outlined the entire project in, right, I wrote the book on it. Like, if you're going to be the expert who wrote the book on it. Nothing opens up doors the same way for you as actually publishing a book. So even if you have the YouTube channel, the program, the podcast, the process, the course, right? If you are the author who wrote the book on it, it opens up so many doors for speaking and engagements and opportunities. And so one of the things that, as we were going through the 90-day author program, we just highlighted, we documented the whole process. And then I turned it into the book. Write the book on it. Become a published author in 90 days. So this is just the whole program. If you want to read about it, we've outlined it all for you inside of that book. All right, next I want to bring up Tabitha Jones. Tabitha, how are you? It's so good to see you. Okay, hold on. I don't hear you. I know you unmuted. I know. Yeah, I saw the unmute thing go away. So we are just a moment from hearing her lovely voice. She's so darling. Like, I got to be on, I was on a call with her just even earlier today, and you are not going to want to miss out on Tabitha. So she's working on her audio. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how this hot author release event came to be, right? So one of the things we've been doing is helping authors, publish their book. And the reason why we publish books is to open up doors for speaking opportunities, to attract more leads, to elevate our brand, to create credibility in the marketplace, but really just to leave a legacy. Like, these are your words, these are your stories. I think I can hear you, Tabitha.
I think I'm back.
All right.
Sometimes my devices fight for custody of my microphone. So here we are.
Who gets custody today? Well, this is a different platform, right, than we were using using earlier. Well, Tabitha, welcome to our Hot Author Showcase. Super excited to have you here today. Just give us your name, where you're from, and tell us about your book.
All right. Well, I'm Tabitha Jones. I'm a career advancement and leadership coach. I'm based in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I work with clients across the US. So my book is Promotion Ready in 3 Months, The Women's Guide to Career Advancement. And ladies, we are getting back into the driver's seat of our careers, taking control. We're not waiting anymore for someone else to do it for us or to tell us we're promotion ready. We are promotion ready. We just need to do a few things, adjust our strategy a bit. And in this book, I'm covering it along with exercises and reflection opportunities so that you can really just dig in there, see what's in your way. I know Cheryl talked a little bit about blocks. We all have blocks, especially when it comes to careers. So we're going to kick perfectionism to the side. We're getting rid of imposter syndrome, and we are moving forward straight to the top.
I love it. Moving forward, straight to the top, which is where we belong, right? Like,
That's right.
I'll take that. I'll take that position. All right. So Tabitha, I imagine there was a journey of how you came to be like, I need to share my experience and I need to help others. Give us a little background on how this book came to be.
Oh my gosh. So a couple of my guests are on this chat, I can see, and some of them may know my story. But I came from the corporate world where I spent more than 20 years climbing the leadership ladder. The first 10 years of that, I was in a project manager role, working as hard as I could, striving to be perfect, taking on more and more responsibility, getting my degree, making sure I was showing up in all the right ways, and just hoping, wishing, and praying that one day my boss was going to tap my shoulder and say, "Hey, we're ready to promote you." And that never happened. What happened instead is we went through a reorganization. And when the jobs were all posted, because we had to reapply, I realized I was already doing more than the job ahead of me. So as a project manager, I was leading multiple teams of people, huge initiatives for a giant telecom company, leading technical teams, doing all kinds of things, but I was a project manager. So I applied for that job. And I was offered it with a whopping 4% pay increase. And that's what I call my oh, hell no moment in life, and said, I'm not doing this anymore. So I turned it down and I went back to my desk and thought, what's next? Within 15 minutes, I was pulled into the CFO's office for a very deep conversation where I got very clear on my value and how much they were relying on having me in that role. And she asked me, what will it take to make this offer more palatable? We don't see anyone else in this role. So huge light bulb moment for me. I went for a title higher. I went for an additional 15% pay increase. Story's all in the book. But I don't want other women going through this. And we do it to ourselves. I see it in all of my clients who are holding themselves back. I just need to be in this role for 3 to 5 years. I need to get my MBA before I'm perfect and can go for that next promotion opportunity. A lot of clients wondering why they're now training their boss or why this person was promoted when she works harder. The truth is, sister, you probably do work harder, but you're not working on all of the things you really need to be focused on to get noticed and really build your brand for that next promotion. So we're taking the guesswork out, we're adding in the strategies and really helping women understand what it takes so that they can get more powerfully positioned for those promotions they desire.
You know what? I think all of us are like, I remember being in that position, or I know somebody who's currently in that space. Like this, you're talking to mainstream right here, Tabitha. I was watching a movie the other night and they said if there was they asked if there's one piece of advice that in general helped most people in general most of the time, what would it be? And he said, get clear on what you want and figure out how to ask for it. And I think like that, if we can just get clear on what you want, you said, right, you had that moment where you recognized what your values were and figured out how to ask for it. And I think this is such a pivotal book when what do you think is going to be the biggest takeaway? What do you really want people to get when they read your book?
Well, first of all, that they're not alone. This is a really common struggle for women. As I share, and it's in the book as well, my story about staying in that role for 10 years. I was promoted 4 times over the next 10 years because I could articulate my value. So what I want women to get is that they are already valuable. You already have the skills that you need. It's in a matter of packaging, maybe making some shifts, getting more visible, and just believing in yourself, because that's where it all starts.
This is so good. This is so good, right? And you just know, like, you're going to pick up that book and you're just going to be like superwoman, right? And the end of it, like, I know what I want. I know how to go after it. And now I have the strategies for it. Tabitha, how about for you? What has writing this book changed and shifted for you?
Oh my gosh. First off, it's out of my head. I've been thinking about it for so long. So it's out of my head. It's one less thing taking up space. It's just a way for me to go and share really great value to people who maybe don't know how much they need a coach, or maybe they think that it is absolutely normal to sit in that space of feeling stuck. Just to give some inspiration of, we can turn it around really quickly, just by making some quick shifts and then build from there. So my hope is that it just inspires women to take action. One small action a day is all it takes.
Oh, that seems manageable, right? One small
Very
action a
manageable.
day is all it takes. All right, so let's talk about, like, what's next for you. What kind of doors is this going to open up for you coming down the pike?
Well, I've already got a couple of speaking engagements in the works. So, getting into a couple of large companies. I actually just had a few with my former company, which was outstanding, where they were so excited to buy some books and share them with their employee resource group members. I have a couple other speaking engagements in the works and some book signings that I plan to do at local coffee shops in my area. And then something I learned from you, Angel, is as I visit different friends in different states, lining up something so that I can just get out there and make sure that the word is being spread.
Yeah, exactly. As an author now, wherever you go, right, it's an opportunity to host a book signing event, right, in a coffee shop, at a networking event, to connect with friends. And you can take that book with you everywhere you go, right, to create that ongoing event. One of my favorite things is for our authors to get booked on podcasts every week, to go out and showcase and highlight their books and talk about them. So if you are hearing from any of our authors today and you're like, I need that author on my podcast, make sure that you reach out to them. You can also find them in our Need a Guest Facebook group as well. Tabitha, do you have a free gift for our viewers today?
I do. So in this case, I'll actually ask viewers to email me, because I will have a companion booklet available that goes with my book, which we'll show you again, because I'm so proud of it. But it will have a variety of worksheets to help you stay accountable to taking action as you invest in yourself and your forward progress. So just Tabitha at empowered-leader.com is the best way to reach me there. And then you're always welcome to come out and visit my website, which is www.empowered-leader.com. And I've got a variety of great things going on, always have some wonderful free resources, and of course, coaching programs.
And don't you have a really fun thing about, like, controlling your calendar?
I do. So that's another great one to share. I will get you the link for that so you can drop it. But I do have a control your calendar, control your career. I'd say that 85+% of the women I speak with don't realize how important controlling their calendar is when it comes to career advancement. So we fill it with all the things we think we need to be doing and none of the things we really should be doing. So that, actually, let me grab it right here. That is a fabulous free resource that you can grab. And Angel, it's in the chat if I haven't shared it with you already. But absolutely can help you.
Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to put that in here into the chat so you guys can see that. I don't know about anybody else on the line. Like, I'm such a geek when it comes to calendar stuff, right? Like, I love the whole idea. I used to have a Franklin planner. Like, when I was in high school, I had a Franklin planner. My friends thought I was the biggest geek on the planet. And then when I went digital, I thought, oh, this is so amazing. So I love that. But I also just really love that the opportunity that Tabitha has created, right? Like having the conversation is step one, and just recognizing that there's opportunity, and if we know how to ask for it, and we can sit in that power seat again and not feel like we have to wait, that we're giving it away to somebody else, or I don't have a choice, right? As women, we have choices. And so I love it. Love featuring Tabitha. Can't wait for our audience to get a copy of her book, start reading the reviews, and again, invite her into your town so she can host a book signing event with you. Tabitha, it's just been really fun to work with you, and I'm super excited to feature you today. Do you have any closing remarks?
Thank you. I have a couple. So one, my lovely client who became a friend, Carla, is on, and I see her note. And Carla, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't shout that out. I actually was found by Carla through a podcast. So I want to shout that out. The Bright Side of 50, one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. I've been on a couple of others, but this one truly led me to Carla and Carla to me. So very excited. The other is I have launched a boot camp, a promotion ready in 3 months boot camp. So you can pop over to my website and learn all about that. And I'd love to help you with some additional accountability, action, and inspiration there. So thank you so much, Angel. This has been so much fun. And thank you to my friends and family who've joined.
Yeah, thanks so much to all the fans in the chat that are there. I love that. Thanks for coming out and supporting and cheering her on, right? And podcasts are an amazing way, right? We all listen to podcasts. We can connect directly with the audience, right? Or with the guest on podcasts. It makes it really easy to connect with them, take them with us wherever we go. And so I love the result, like the action taken there. If you want to get booked on more podcasts, you can also go to Need a Guest and join our Facebook group where you can get booked on podcasts as well. Tabitha, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, Angel.
Okay. All right, we are cruising right along. Hot Author Showcase. Love all the chat going on here in the stream over here. I am actually doing a one-woman show today, and I think I'm kind of doing okay, right? It's not perfect, but that's the beautiful thing, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, something's better than nothing. And so often we allow perfection to get in the way of actually taking action and putting ourselves out there. We feel like we have to have everything all figured out, everything all buttoned up, laced up, and tied with a bow before we can start marketing, before we can start sharing our message with the world. But it's just not true, right? People want to see you in the real and the raw, the authentic, right? They don't mind like that it's not perfect. In fact, we're not striving. Like, none of us are perfect. And so we don't really even want you to be perfect. And so it's okay to be a little messy. It's a little, just be real and to just be you. And so if you're waiting for perfection, if that's holding you back, let me just give you a little bit of permission today as you watch me fumble through, right? Learning this brand new platform and doing it live with our Hot Author Showcases today. Robert, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for the positive reinforcement, the encouragement, and just for being here today to support. I'm going to bring up Martine up on stage next. Dr. Martine Canal, how are you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yay, it's working. Oh my gosh, it's so fabulous to see you today. And thanks so much for joining us as our, another one of our hot authors, the Hot Author Showcase. You have a brand new book coming out or just released, and excited to feature that. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us where you're coming from, and tell us about your book.
Well, Angel, first I want to say that it's an honor for me to be here with all of you to be showcasing our books, because this was a work of love, if I could say. And so my name is Dr. Martine Canal, and I am a self-care strategist and a nurse for over 26 years. And I'm the CEO of Self-Care Genius. And I am very proud to be releasing my brand new book, which is Radiant Living. And this journey for me has been very cathartic. And I am so proud to be able to share my message with the world now with this book. And yeah, this is my little baby that you, Angel, has allowed me to do in a matter of 90 days.
Did you ever believe that you would have a book out in 90 days?
I did not. And back then when I met you, Angel, that wasn't even in my mind.
No?
So for you to pull that out of me, to know that I had a story to share and bring it out in 90 days, not only written, but published and sold. So thank you.
In 90 days, not only did she have it, like the idea written, published, you were on stage and selling the book in a live event. So I'm just super excited you took that leap of faith and jumped in. What surprised you the most about this process, or did anything surprise you about this?
Well, what attracted me to this program, Angel, it was that I love systems, I love processes. And once you told me that there was a certain way that every week we had to follow a pattern, a system, so that we can finish at a certain deadline. And I said, yes, this is the accountability that I need, because I tend to be a procrastinator. So that's when I just jumped in and played full out.
Mm. And you totally did, right? Yeah, like jumped in full out. And I think that's one of the things I was so proud of. I remember getting on a call and Jeannie was there and she's like, I can't believe how much I've written. I can't believe how far we've come in such a short period of time. But it is really beautiful to know that you're in a community where others are kind of going through the same thing. And you'll almost show up for others, just like maybe I wouldn't do it for myself, but I'm going to show up and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for others. And you did that, and you've just been a shining star, Martine. And so I love that. But let's talk about the book. Like, what's the biggest impact? Well, give us a little background about why this book is at this time.
This book is, as I said, it's a labor of love, because I wanted to share the message that is dear to my heart. I have been a nurse for over 26 years, and my journey started at a very young age when I was 16 years old, when my mother suffered a massive stroke, which left her paralyzed on the left side of her body. And since then, I have been a caregiver. So through that journey, now here I am, 40s, and I was following the same path that she was back then when she suffered her stroke. And that really scared me, Angel. That fear just shifted my mindset. And since then, I've been on the mission to help women like me, like my mother, to help them prevent any kind of health condition or tragedy that could prevent them from living a productive and meaningful life. So this book is a guide to embracing self-care and making transformative changes to enhance your health, your happiness, and also your overall well-being. So it has strategies and tips, and it addresses like a whole holistic health, physical, mental, social, all of that in this little tiny book here. It's a very powerful book.
Small but mighty, right? Only the good stuff. I think that's also part of the process. Like, you don't have time to put in like all the extra fluff. Like, we're just going to get to the really, really good stuff. And when you do have like a parent, right, and you kind of got the warning signs right in front of you, but you not only took action for yourself, but you're now giving us the guide, like a guidebook that you can help change the lives of others. But now that you've written it, Martine, like what impact has this made on your life now that you've got the book? You're the expert who wrote the book on it.
Well, this book will allow me to spread the message all over the globe and be able to, even if it's one person that I impact and help one day at a time, that will complete my mission. Because again, everybody should have, they're entitled to live a productive and meaningful life. Because at the end, when you come to the end of your life, you want to look back and say, yes, I enjoyed my life to the fullest.
Yeah, right. No regrets, right?
No,
And we often regret more of what we didn't do versus what we did do, right? Like the thing we think, if I do this thing, will I regret it? Well, hardly ever, right? Like it gives us a story, and it's kind of our defining moment or our rising phoenix opportunity. It's always those opportunities that we didn't take or that we put off or that we waited. And I think that's one of the things I remember hearing a long time ago, that there's this great myth that we buy into, is that I can do it later, right? I can put it off. And we tend to buy into that lie, but really it's the actions that we're taking today that are going to make that in tremendous impact on our lives. So I know you guys all want to go and interview. You want to interview Martine. You want to have her as a guest on your podcast. You want to buy her book, of course, wherever books are sold. Martine, do you have a gift for us today?
I do. I actually have 2 bonuses that come with my book. And if you go to martinecanal.com, you will be able to get, one is a self-care plan example that you can follow. It gives you strategies like daily, monthly, even yearly that you can do. And also I have a self-care reflection and commitment letters template that you can follow and write to yourself. And that has a very powerful way of making you just looking inside, deeply inside, and saying exactly what is it that I really want, and how is it that I want to be, let's say in a year, or even in 3 months, even in 1 month. How do I want to be? So those are my bonuses so that you guys can enjoy.
Right? Don't just go straight online and go buy the book. Make sure you connect directly with these authors, because they do have some amazing gifts for you. And so just for being here today, every single one of our authors is giving you some really good stuff, right? There's great things in their books. And here's like something really beautiful. Like if you could say to Martine, hey, all the things you know, all the things you've discovered, can I pick your brain? If she was to say to you, I'm going to give you all the tips, all the things. I'm going to spend all this time. I'm going to give you everything I know. And it's $20. You're like, yes, right? Think about how much we all spend on all sorts of stuff, right? But if you could pick her brain and learn everything she knew for $20 for each of these authors, how valuable is that? Right? And so make sure that you go, and don't feel like you only have to support the author that maybe you knew here today. Hopefully you're discovering some new authors, some new ideas, some new tips and topics that maybe you weren't thinking about before. But go and buy all the books, right? My husband calls it my philanthropic spending. I'm always buying authors' books. And in fact, just the other day, I was saying I needed to clean out my bookshelf because they were stacked all along the sides and everything. And I cleaned off. Actually, I was first thinking I needed a new bookshelf, but then I decided I needed to clean up. I had lots of duplicates. And I took them to my local library, and they took them, and they're going to put covers on them. And so if I had your book and I had too many of them, it could now end up being in an Orlando library somewhere. But donate your books to the library. I don't know. I tried. I got way off track of what I meant to talk about with you, Martine. What exciting project are you working on next?
Well, Angel, I always say at the end of the day, it's all about us living our best life and how can we support each other. So right now I am creating a membership circle project where we as a community can all support each other with self-care strategies and tips, and mostly accountability, so that we can enjoy everything that life has to offer us. And then for you to have a magnificent, enjoyable life that you can live not only with yourself, but with everybody around you, right? Because once you take care of yourself, and I always say take care of yourself first, and then you take care of others, because you have to pour into you first and then pour onto others. So yeah, so I'm working on that. And also I'm going to be going out and speaking. So that book is opening doors for me to do that. And so I'll be able to just basically serve and just share my message, which I believe is very important right? Because I always ask, what did you do for self-care today?
Mm, mm. What a valuable question. What a valuable question. And uh, taking care of ourselves is something that should never be on the back burner, should
Never.
never be something we feel guilty about doing. But we do. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. Probably passed down from generations, right? Where it wasn't as important of a thing. But I just love the message. And you are right. It is so important, the message that you are sharing, Martine. Any final remarks for our audience today?
Well, I just want to give a tip, and that tip I think is very important, that even though you're busy during the day, you have got to take some time for yourself, go where it's somewhere quiet, and listen to your body. Listen, because it is talking to you very softly and you won't be able to hear it in a lot of noise. So listen to your body, and with that, you'll be able to act accordingly. Okay. Because if you need some time to decompress because you're very stressed out, you will hear it. If you feel like your blood pressure is coming up and you're having a headache, if you stop and feel your body, you'll say, oh my God, I need to do some kind of stress management techniques, right? You have to take time for yourselves. That's very important. That's what I wanted to tell you guys today.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing and for being here. And like, she's going to save our lives, right? And so thank you. Thank you for that, Martine. I've got her, connect with her at martinecanal.com. Go and grab her special gifts, and then make sure that if you want to interview her, you know how to find her right there or inside our Need a Guest Facebook group. So Martine, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, so that I actually have two more authors that I have been texting, right, to see if they are going to be joining us. Right, we through he's on a Zoom, right? We kind of flew through it pretty darn quickly. So here's what I want to do. If our authors are okay with coming back onto the stage and doing just kind of like a little 1-minute recap, tell us about your book and tell us what your free gift is, I'm going to bring you up, but I'm only going to do it if you think it's okay. So raise your hand if you, okay. So Jeannie, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to add Jeannie to the stage. Let me hide this banner so that I can put yours. Do you want the Breath MD or the Text Breath banner up?
Why don't we put up the Breath MD?
Breath MD. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the stage for just a couple of minutes. Tell us about your book and the free gift that they get.
Here is my book, and it is Breath, the remote control to inner calm, because it truly is. This is a way that you can actually change your emotional state at your own will. Just imagine someone is screaming in your face, and you are able to breathe in, breathe out, come to a place of total balance, and they have no power over you. You're able to quietly, calmly respond and be your true higher self in the moment using only your breath. It's amazing. It is such a power. And if you go to thebreathmd.com, you can join our community. We have weekly meetings. We're called the Breath Buddies. It's a great community, and it's not always all about the breath. Sometimes it's really just kind of like a chat with like-minded people. But it's really amazing to connect with the other people. And then breath, text breath to 26786. And you can get a short little video that truly could change your life. If you learn this technique, I'll breathe with you. You got to set your alarm sometimes for 90 seconds because it doesn't sound long, but it actually means you got to go through it 6 times. Lots of people want to quit early. Our monkey mind will tell us, no, stop breathing. Don't do it, because on the other side is that control, that calm, that decrease of stress that you're just craving. So hope to see you soon.
Oh shoot, I didn't mean to remove her from stage. I just meant to like do a thing. Hold on a second. One more time. Let me do that right. Okay. Right. So I think I love the idea of the 90 seconds, or actually, I don't love the idea of 90 seconds. That's not what I meant to say. I think 90 seconds sounds like a really long time, right? To try and hold a breath. I remember like doing some type of meditation one time, and it was like holding a thought for 2 minutes. And you don't even realize like how long that is. We don't realize how long it takes to brush our teeth, to wash our hands, but breathing, like of all the things that we think about, this is so important. Jeannie, thanks for being so flexible today, coming back on screen and back on stage. Yeah, she's just like, aren't they just so much fun? Don't you just want to hang out with them all the time? Right? Thanks so much, Jeannie.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, so let me see if I can remove her from the stage now. All right. Do my other authors, anybody else want to come back on screen and talk about your book? Tabitha. Okay, I'm going to bring Tabitha up, add her to the stage. Look how flexible everybody is and spontaneous. This is the thing. When you're the expert who wrote the book on it, you're always stage ready. Just put a little lipstick on and away we go, right? So Tabitha, I'm going to turn the screen over to you. First, let me find this fun little banner for you. So we've got that. And just tell us about the book and the free gift that they get today.
So yeah, actually, Angel, can we switch it to the other? We'll use the calendar control as the free gift, if that's okay. Thank you for being flexible, because I have all kinds of fun things, and we better stick with the best one for today. So the controlling your calendar and controlling your career. You're going to read a lot about this in Promotion Ready in 3 months. And the reason is because everything starts with your calendar. Your confidence, it comes from your calendar. Setting time for yourself to prepare, to focus, to really get clear on your goals and your value. It all starts with your calendar. And it's so surprising to people, because most women are booked back to back when I look at their work calendars from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. with literally no time for even biological breaks. So we want to make sure that you're setting time for yourself, even if you start small with 30 minutes a week, to find that time to work on your goals, work on yourself, and take action on the strategies in this book. If you take the time to read it and reflect after each chapter and work on the items I've outlined, you can absolutely become promotion ready within the next 3 months. So stop the frustration, stop the overwhelm, and let's just start taking action, beginning with that calendar control.
Promotion ready in 3 months, right? I mean, that's before the end of the year, right before the holidays. Like, what a fun way to close out the year. And if you put that kind of on your, like, this year, I'm going to have this promotion, like, this is the time. So anything can happen. 3 months is, like, while it seems like a really short period of time, a lot can change in 90 days. And so you can totally turn your business around, totally turn your lifestyle around. Like, there's so many things that you can do. And I love that we have Tabitha here guiding us through it. Thanks for popping back on and being flexible today.
Of course. Thank you so much.
All right. I just love this. Like, I'm kind of, bringing them back up, giving them, being a little spontaneous, giving them a little extra, limelight, time in the spotlight. Cheryl, you want them to pop in? Of course. She's like, why wouldn't you? Right? Our friend Kimberly always says, if somebody hands you the microphone, you say yes, right? We always step into. And so I just love that. And here's the thing, like, you're always ready. You have all this content. You have all this great stuff to share. So I'm going to pull up your, there we are. Is this the one? Do you want to put this one up, Cheryl?
Yes, please. The meditations. And like I was saying earlier, it's really, the meditations are great. And what helps in listening to the person who, developed the meditations, to listen to this person speak, you get what's called transmission. So you get energy. I remember years ago, decades ago, when I started teaching meditation and leading meditations, people would say, my meditations are never the same at home. They're always so much better when I come here. And it's one, being in a group helps, but it's also, you get transmission. So I've been meditating over 30 years, and it's really gaining that transmission. You get it through the book as well. All the authors here, you're getting some of their good juju, some of their good energy. But with this, like my first 2 books, this book is also about learning how to access your subconscious, to access exactly what subconscious blocks are getting in your way. It gives you many methods of learning how to clear those subconscious blocks. but it's learning to reprogram your subconscious with more of who you truly are. So it's always healing and empowerment. And it's, there's different ways to access your subconscious, and we've already heard a lot about the breath. And James Nestor, if you want to grab the book Breath, that is one heck of an amazing book. I really enjoyed it, and having practiced different breath modalities through over the years, pranayama breathing, the full breath, rhythmic breath, that sort of thing, we all have that capacity to clear what's getting in our way. So when we act every day, whatever we say and do is all backed up by our previous conditioning. And the longer you've been on the earth, the more the conditioning has an effect on you. So this book really teaches you in many ways how to overcome that and really take your seat in the world, who you truly are, who you're meant to be. And the greatest power, we think it's very personally oriented, but the highest level of power really doesn't have much to do with us. It's more about God or the universe moving through us in our own unique and very specific way. And I've discovered there's no greater joy than experiencing that and the fulfillment that comes with it. So it's really, this book is a way to help you discover what's getting in your way, but move beyond it, to gain the clarity about who you truly are and why you're here, and to step into your authentic power in that way.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Aren't you glad they all get an extra little bonus stage time, like to kind of recap about their books and their free gifts? Cheryl, thanks so much for being here today, and for just being just so much fun to work with.
Oh, Angel, thank you ever so much. It's really been an honor to be a part of this.
You are so fun. Like, you just get on a screen with her, and like, her energy is just dynamite, and all of them really. But yeah, it's been really special. It's been really special watching you work through this project, being your third book. It's just, I just love it. You just light me up. So thank you. All right. So aren't you just loving like the extra time with all of these fabulous little authors? All right. Well, Sarah came back on, and so I'm going to bring Sarah back to the stage. Actually, let me remove Cheryl's little banner, and then we'll put Sarah's up here for you. How are you doing, Sarah? I'm just going to turn this over and let you talk about your book and your free gift.
Well, first of all, thank you again for bringing us all back around, because, I think we can continue to share more and more and more about not only, what we have to offer, but our hearts and how we are so connected. Like I talked about earlier, we have so much more in common than I think we think these days. And whether it's, Cheryl's light, or, self-care, or going from the corporate world to what we're doing now, we all have some of these commonalities together. And one of the things I want to share from the self-awareness and communication book is, when you go to freegiftfromsarah.com, and also freegiftfromsarah.com/cat, KAT, I'm going to give it to you in both capacities, but you're going to be able to find a quick and easy quiz for you to find out how you communicate. What is the way that you take in information? Because we have 11 million bits of information at any given time around us, but we only process and filter less than 200 bits. So again, 11 million bits around us, we process less than 200. So what are our filters? How do we understand things? How do we let things in? And also, how do we communicate back out? And we communicate differently between ourselves, our loved ones, our community, and our universe. Just like Cheryl just talked about, that hierarchy of universe. And one of the things we talk about in the book is it good for you? And why you? You are the most important person in your world, because you spend the most time with yourself. So why? Is it good for you? Oh, is it good for others? And you, is it good for the universe? So those three things alone can help you communicate in such a deeper way. And again, all the proceeds from the sale of this book go to Kat's 3 children. We're continuing her legacy, but even more so, do it for yourself. Create a win-win. Do it for you, because there's so much connectivity. There's so much that we have in common in this community. And I love seeing all the different authors and all the things you guys have had to share, because we all bring something unique to this table. And, if you're teetering on which book you want to get them all. get them all, because there's something unique and different about how we all communicate. And I would imagine that the way that you read and interpret any and all of these books and all the free gifts that are being given out today by Angel and the team and all of these amazing, amazing authors, you can get a tidbit, implement that into your life. And that's what I would say is maybe one of the keys, implementation. So thank you again for having me. Everyone go to freegiftfromsarah.com/cat, get the quiz, take the quiz, understand yourself, understand how you can communicate to others.
Beautiful, beautiful. Aren't they just awesome? They're so professional. They're so on it. They're so generous with their giving and their gifts. And Sarah's right. Like, don't pick and choose. Like, which one book should I buy? Buy them all, right? We only have 5 authors here today. So let's just jump in and be supportive. Like, be that, giving person that you want people to be with yourselves, right? Like if we're generous, right? If we are not generous, like nothing can get out, but nothing can get in, right? Just go and give and release. And I promise it comes back to you. Sarah, thanks for jumping back in with us. All right, do you want to come back in, Martine? Do you want to jump back in? She's like, yes, let's do it, right? Let me find your banner there. All right, so I'm just going to turn this over to you and give you a couple minutes. Just a recap, talk about your book and talk about your offer.
Right. So just imagine waking up every morning feeling energized and you feeling that you're ready to conquer the world. You're confident, but then reality sets in and you're dragging out of bed and then you're feeling the weight of the world. And then you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see. Right. So this is when this powerful book comes in, because it gives the power to transform your journey, which is your life, through self-care. So as you go through this book, every chapter is a different theme. It's physical, mental, social. You go through that, you take the key takeaways, you reflect, you journal on the questions that are there, because I believe that self-awareness is the number one point that you have to start with, because if you're not aware of anything, you will not make any change. And after you do all of that, the benefits of this book, you will have improved well-being. You're going to have decreased stress levels. So you will learn the technique, stress management, and you will try to integrate work and life so you can have somewhat of a balance, because at the end of the day, like for myself, we're workaholics. We work and we like to work. We like to help people. So you have to find a balance there. And also, you have got to have this resilience. So I talk about resilience a lot, because you have to be able to overcome setbacks when they come at you. So you will have the power to go through those challenges in your life. It will empower you to go through those challenges. And of course, you cannot live alone. In this world, we're surrounded by people. So I talk about enhancing relationships so that you are in a community that will support you. You will create boundaries around yourself so that you don't become overwhelmed. So that little powerful book is there to help you every step of the way, every day. And this is something that you can implement today, and you will feel the benefits today. So again, get your copy and start living the life that you want, because you are the captain of your ship and you should be sailing toward the path that you want in life, right? So with that, I have the membership, which is the Self-Care Genius membership circle that I'm working on. But in the meantime, while he's being prepared, I have the Self-Care Empowerment Circle on Facebook, which is a Facebook group that that we together as a community, we have to empower each other. It's not only about me, it's about all of us. Because at the end of the day, we want to up level to the next level. We want to be better. Every day you want to be 1% better and enjoy our life. So go to my website, martinecanal.com, and there you can see everything that I offer. I also have another book, which is Becoming You, that came first, and now this is the second one. And I can feel the bubbling inside, Angel. There's another book that wants to come out. So,
yay, right?
Just like you said, you cannot put all that you want to say into one book. So I had to cut a lot of it's not fluff, but I saved it for another book, and it will come out, because I know that with my message, if I can save just one person's life, I will do it.
I love it. I love it. Martine, thank you so much. And right, like God bless them. They all wanted to put more in, but I made them stop and told them save it for the next book. Right. So the next book is already on its way. I love it. She's starting all brand new member circles. So make sure that you connect with her. And thanks for popping back in with us, Martine. I mean, don't you just love hanging out with authors? Aren't they just so much fun? And you don't feel like, I don't know, like you have to commit to anything. Like, it's just so easy to support. It's kind of like going to the farmer's market and you're like, I want a little bit of this and I want a little bit of that, right? And we get to support everybody there and they all pour into you. So I think what's really interesting is how unique their topics are, but how connected their topics are. Like, there was a little bit of a thread that kind of wove them all together. And of course, that's not like we couldn't have planned that. That's just the beauty of the universe coming together and supporting this really beautiful, this really beautiful project. So I want to say thank you to all of our authors who came in today, hung out with us, who've published their books. I want to just on record say I'm so proud. I'm so excited to be a part of that you trusted me in the process of helping you to bring that book to the marketplace. For all of you who have supported us and have bought their books, followed along on the stream today, kind of watched us kind of shuffle through the technology, thank you. Right? It really means a lot to us that you took the time to be here today. Like, we don't take that for granted. Our time is something that's so valuable. Relationships are incredibly important to all of us, and that human connection. And so even though we weren't here like in live, in person to see each other, like, your energy, we felt it. And so I just want to say thank you for supporting us. Hopefully you were able to grab all of those links, grab all of those gifts, connect with them on LinkedIn, like find all of the authors, go find them and put their books in your favorite book, in your favorite shopping cart, and support them. If there's anything more that we can do, we'd love to connect with you. Join me in my Facebook group. It's Need a Guest. That needaguest.com will take you right to our Facebook group. If you want to find guests or get booked on podcasts, it's a great free networking community. And if you want to learn more about the 90-day author program, right? If you are the expert and we want you to write the book on it, like learn about the 90-day author program in the book, write the book on it, right? We took the recordings, and the outline for the entire 90-day author program, and we actually published it. So go and grab that. And if you need anything else from me, you can find me at needaguest.com. But with that, I just want to say blessings to you all my authors here still in the green room. I'm super excited to just introduce you to them and introduce them to you. And so with that, we say cheers, goodbye. Thank you so much for being here.